sure. I probably should have. Okay, Article 33. Okay. Defense of person. Okay, this is the criminal code. Hopefully this is the new version of it. A person is not guilty of an offense if, and A, they believe on reasonable grounds that force is being used against them or another person, or the threat of force is being made against them or another person. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you get that. B, the act that constitutes the offense is committed for the purpose of defending or protecting themselves or the other person from that use or threat of force. And C, the act committed is reasonable in circumstance. So that's what you're interpreting. So this is legal. This is Canadian law right now. This is what this is constitutional. Okay. Factors. Okay, so this is kind of like a sub-article of it. 2. In determining whether an act committed is reasonable in circumstance, the court shall consider the relevant circumstances of the person, the other parties, and the act, including but not limited to the following factors. A, the nature of the force of threat. Guys screaming at you across the street, a guy's coming at you with a tire iron. So, that will be taken into consideration. B, the extent to which the use of force was imminent, and whether there was other means available to respond to the potential use of force. That's very critical because that can hang you up. Could you have ran? Could you have, this is what I mean about, Nike defense is the best defense, but sometimes people can run faster than you. Let's say you tried running, they caught up to you. You called 911, the police didn't get there in time. That type of thing. So was there other things you could have done to, what the law is trying to tell you to do or trying to get you to realize. This is why it's good to know what your laws are. And I don't know all of them. Believe me, I'm not a lawyer. But knowing what you can, just knowing this in the back of your head will give you a better, clear idea of what you can and cannot do. Because, like a guy, challenge you to a pissing contest and you take him up on it and you start throwing knuckles. Well, that's not self-defense, you know what I mean? The person's role in the incident, that's C. D, okay, well, there's one guy got the fight going and the other guy jumped in, that type of thing. So that's the person's role. D, whether any party is to the incident used or threatened to use a weapon, because there's extra charges with weapons. Say, I'm going to go get my gun and I'm going to shoot you. Well, you got to kind of wait till he comes back with his gun, but you can have him charged with death threats or attempted murder or something. The C's age. E. This is new. E. The size, age, gender, and physical capabilities of the parties to the incident. Not sure about that one. I'll get back to that one. Okay. F. The nature, duration, the history of any relationship between the parties to the incident, including any prior use or threat of force, and by the nature of force threat. Okay. F1. F.1. Any history of interaction, communication between the parties up to things leading up to the incident. G. The nature and the proportionality of the person's response to the use of threat of force, and H. Whether the act committed was in response to the use threat of force, then the person knew he was lawful. Okay, and then no defense. I'll read this part in a second, but I want to get back to the where the E. Yeah, the size and age and gender of the and physical capabilities of the parties of the incident. 8-year-old kid threatened to kill you. You're a 245-pound guy, bodybuilder, black belt martial artist. He threatened to hurt me, and I kicked the snot balls out of him. you're probably going to get charged. You know, mind you, somebody attacks you, but you got to watch that one. That one could be used in a couple of different ways. I could see that one. Yeah, that one could be a very tricky one. Yeah, that one could be very, very tricky. It has to be reasonable. Okay, and yeah, let's go down to. It says no defense. 3 subsection 1 does not apply if the force used or threatened by another person for the purpose of doing something that they required or authorized by law to do in the administrative or enforcement of the law, unless the person who is committing the act that constitutes the offense believes are reasonable grounds that the other person is acting unlawful. I guess that would kind of more apply to citizen's arrest, my interpretation. But that's section 34. I guess we'll have to go to the next page for section 35. Section 35, defense of property. So the first one was defense of persons. I don't know why I didn't do. Maybe I have done this in a video. I'm not too sure. I probably should have. Okay, Article 33. Okay, defense of person. Okay, this is the criminal code. Now hopefully this is the new version of it. A person is not guilty of an offense if, and A, they believe on reasonable grounds that force is being used against them or another person, or the threat of force is being made against them or another person. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you get that. B, the act that constitutes the offense is committed for the purpose of defending or protecting themselves